Hi YouTube, this is Angie the Anti-Theist. I did a video the other day, Dying for a Lie, about the apostles, and I have received a few replies. Mostly people seem to be thinking that there's somehow a difference between believing something and that there's this special case because the apostles supposedly saw this stuff. So let's talk about, things that you know are true because you're there. Let's talk about aliens. There are people who, for no political or personal gain, they suffer as a result of it, but they believe and they proclaim their belief that they have been abducted by aliens. This is not some, I feel it in my heart to be true. This is, they think that they have experienced something physically, that they saw it, they experienced it with their own senses. Do you believe them? Now somebody said, oh, this was 11 credible witnesses. One, who says they're credible? You? Two, so there are groups, whole groups that claim to have been abducted at the same time. People who believe this stuff. We already talked about the ability to be deceived by others, but let's talk about the ability to be deceived by your senses. We know that we can be tricked. That's the whole, thing underlying illusion and magic tricks and, magic shows, which I enjoy quite a bit, and so does my little one. He already understands that just because something stopped being on the table, it didn't stop existing. And so he goes and looks for the thing that I made poof disappear. Likewise, he's already figured out how to trick my senses and to make something appear to just show up or go away. He already understands that the senses can be deceived, not just the mind, not just that we can, misinterpret what someone says or believe something that someone tells us, which is not true. We're not perfect at telling reality. We're not. That's why we have science. That's why we have actual measurement instruments like thermometers. I walk outside on a day when I'm sick and it might feel like a different temperature than it does on a day when I'm well. I'm not the perfect thermometer. I'm not, my sense of how cold it is might not always be accurate. I mean, we know that people are not instruments. We're not precision. We are not recording devices. We can all remember things wrong. You have a conversation go talk to your significant other and ask them to go back and go over exactly what people said in the last argument you had. We have false memories. We have the ability to think something happened differently than it did and to be incorrect about our perceptions going on around us. The apostles were no different. You have failed to convince me or persuade me in the slightest. Until you can show me why that is any more credible than people who, for all the same, have no gain. There's nothing that they benefit from saying it. It costs them something, socially. And why do people claim to be abducted by aliens? Why would they do that if they didn't really believe it? And they think it happened physically. They think they've seen it. Just like your apostles. I mean, they've had the full doubting Thomas, touching the side. I mean, they've had that. You're going to doubt their experience of people who are still alive today that you could go interview, you could talk to. There have been, controlled experiments and recorded abductions. I mean, you can go find out a lot more about what they're claiming than you can about the apostles. But I'm going to guess that you don't believe that they're actually being abducted by aliens and being probed. So why are those accounts not believable to you? Why are those not credible? Why do you disbelieve those, but believe what supposedly was written by the supposed apostles centuries ago? I look forward to your responses. Everybody on YouTube, have a great and godless one. Be good to yourselves and have fun. Happy Darwin Day. Peace.